Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Miss Honeydrop, and today we will be talking about spirituality is not a trend, because it isn't. Before we go into the video, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notification button so you're immediately alerted once new videos are posted. So spirituality is not a trend, because with a lot of young people coming into spirituality now over the last few years, I find that everyone, especially like I said, especially the younger ones, just think this is a trend because a lot of celebrities are openly identifying with one form of spirituality or the other, either Isheshe, which is the Yoruba traditional system or African traditional practice, Buddhism, Lukumi, Kabbalah, Udu, any kind of spirituality that is available out there. And it's a good thing people are waking up. It's just that it's dangerous because they're not taking it serious enough. Many of them just think, I've got a few crystals, incense, I just sage my space, that's it. No, that's not it. Spirituality requires you to carry on the practice. It's a continual process. It's not something you just do one or two times and that's the end of it. You carry on doing it. When you start doing certain types of rituals, you immediately open yourself to different types of entities, the good, the bad, the ugly, and these energies would come into your space whether you want it or not. And that's why it's important for you to ground yourself, protect yourself. Don't be hairy-fairy all over the place and unsure of what you're doing. Be able to identify which energy is present. Is it good energy? Is it bad energy? Something is not right. But if you're not even taking it serious, when something terrible comes in, you wouldn't know, because it's not a lifestyle for you. So how would you be immediately sensitive to it? You probably wouldn't know something has changed in your space. Oshun is another thing I want to talk about, because since Beyonce sang about her, dressed like her during the period when she was pregnant with the twins, more people have come to call Oshun their guardian orisha, which is not necessarily the case, especially for the women. Everyone just assumed because Oshun, she loves honey, she's the goddess of sweet waters, she's bougie, she loves style, looking good and all that stuff. She's my mom. Excuse you? Did anyone tell you Oshun can get grumpy, moody as fuck? There are times where she's just upset. She's not in the mood. And you're going to feel the energy because she's in your space, especially for those who got an icon for her, a vessel made for them, representing Oshun without proper divination. If you want to work with orishas, which is an amazing thing, do proper divination. Know which energy works with you. There are females who actually have Eshu as their guardian orisha, Shango, Ogun as their guardian orisha. There are women who are meant to be in the army, and they will do very wonderful at it because Ogun is their guardian orisha. But you're here shouting, Oshun is my mom. I don't understand where people get this idea from. Just because Beyonce's orisha is Oshun doesn't mean she's the guardian orisha for all women. There are so many ladies whose energy is Oya or even Oba, Yemoja, Olokun. There are so many different deities out there that would be happy to look after you. In fact, they are already attached to your ori, your soul, your head. So they're just looking at you like, hang on a minute, I'm your guardian orisha. Why are you calling her your guardian orisha? You know, I want to use the analogy of an homosexual person. We've seen cases where people who are not really gay come out and just say they're gay because it's the popular thing. I feel like they downplay the effect for those who are really, really gay and homosexuals, who this is who they are. That's their lifestyle. They're not trying to be. It is who they are. It's the same thing with the sheshe. Some people don't take it serious. They just get the funny beads from some botanical shop, do funny hairstyles, looking all garish and drabbish even sometimes. I look at some people and I don't want to associate with you. If that is what you represent an orisha to look like, I do not want to look like that. I don't want to associate with you because you are a misrepresentation of orisha. Who says orishas have to look like they're coming out from the bush with bones stuck in their hair? Like, the heck? It's just not cool. You make people who practice the sheshe look as if they're unkept people. Well, where's this old nonsensical idea? We are not hippies. Spirituality is a practice, not a look, not a thing you just do for the internet. Oh, look at me, I'm burning a few candles, I'm doing rituals, oh, look at my crystals, oh, I'm charging them in the full moon just like Beyonce said in a song, and then, oh, incense, no, just no. This is something that has to be ongoing. If you're going to work with orishas, they're going to test you. And this is where a lot of people crack and break, because they do not have the resilience to keep up with the test that will be thrown your way. They would make you go through certain things just to make you a better person. They'll bring out the dark side, your shadow aspect, for you to deal with it. You didn't know this? They would make you go through tough times so you are reborn. You go through like a death process and you are reborn into a new person. The real you, the part of you didn't even know existed. You begin to learn about yourself. This is what they do. They guide you. They don't pamper you or spoon feed you or just bring you all the cold cash because, oh, she's the goddess of abundance. Okay, and my bank account is going to be full and fat. Nah, you got to plant the seeds first and wait for the harvest. You're not going to gain everything in one day. It doesn't work like that. You know, there's so many other orishas actually who would also grace you with so much abundance in your life, financial abundance and other kind of blessings. Even if their area is not necessarily finance, because they are your guardian, they will make sure you are always materially provided for. And just orisha is not the only thing in your life. We have spirit guides, we have Egbe Orun. You know, they all have there are some people whose orisha has fiery energy, like Shango, you know, is a very protective one. He loses his temper a lot and is very fierce. But then their element might be Omi, water, because it's not just Shango that is working with them, but they've got other aspects of them that is got to do with water. So you can't just assume that it's just one thing, or it's a combination of different things, and that's why you have to work with different entities and energies at the same time, knowing exactly how to look after them and venerate them, propitiate them at the right time. It's not just about you know, you do it today, you don't do it tomorrow. Their place is dirty, is unkempt. You don't charge your crystals, you don't cleanse your crystals. they're carrying bad energy and they start affecting you. The orisha icon is just no. If you do not have the time, or you're not ready to look after an orisha icon, don't get one. Just talk to them, work with them, whether they are or not your guardians, and leave it at that. Because when you start going into deeper relationship with them, and you don't do the things because once you have an icon, you have a proper energy within your space, and that energy requires your attention. Like a baby, you have to wash them, clean them up, feed them, put on the diapers and everything. Everything you do for a baby. Rock them when they cry, sing to them, praise them, say nice things. Oh, you look beautiful, you beautiful baby, look at your cheek. Just imagine you have a child, because working with an orisha can sometimes feel like that. At the same time, they are tough moms, dad, parent, teacher, because they would make you go through certain tests to make you build your own character. Go through all these character building processes, and if you cannot excel through it, that's where you really need to ask yourself if you really want to work with orishas or any kind of entity. Because even angels, they're quite disciplined, and they expect you to accord them with discipline when you're coming to them as well. When you have to give them the due respect, you have to go through things the right way. You have to, sometimes you have to cleanse yourself. I really advise people cleanse themselves before going to any kind of orishas. Some people get from sex and go straight to the no. During period, you're touching things. Later, you start having problems because you are touching this energy within your space with an unclean energy from within you or outside of you or whatever your space. Just all those things put together. You don't clean up, you don't clean your space. Nah. It's not something you just go into because it's trendy, because everyone is talking about it. You need to be sure you want to practice spirituality. The benefits are enormous. You're going to grow exponentially. You're going to become a better version of yourself. You align with your inner person, your higher self. You would also be financially blessed and uplifted. Things will get better for you, but it's not all rosy. And this is where people get tired and just run out of it. If you can't take the heat, you run out of the kitchen. No, if you can't take the heat, you take a break and come back into the kitchen. That is my advice. Don't give it up all completely. If you think it's a bit too much, it's overwhelming, take a break. Learn more. Talk to people. Get guidance. Get the right information. There are informations on the internet, on YouTube. There are people out there who are willing to take godchildren. At the moment, I'm not taking any godchildren because I still have a lot of going throughs to go through myself in terms of my growth process. But if you do need advice, I could point you in the right direction, and I could also show you people who are ready to take godchildren. I do know people who are willing to help people through this journey. In the future, I would be taking godchildren, just not at the moment. So, get the right information. Go through the process properly. One other thing I want to talk about is this ayahuasca, wachuma experience, this plant-based medicine. When you go through it with a shaman and you've gone through either you've been in a trance state before, or you have grown organically into your spirituality where you know how to go into visualization slowly through meditation, or you just see visions because you're gifted, then you can go through ayahuasca. But if you haven't gone through spiritual growth organically, I strongly advise you not to go through it, because it's going to spook you out. When you go through these things, your body calms, your senses are heightened, you immediately go into this trance state where you start seeing different kind of things. If your third eye is not ready for the information it's being given, you're going to lose it. You might come back feeling better, we hope, but while you're there, it's just going to be too much for you for your mind, even for your body, because everything that happens in the other dimension, this spiritual dimension, also affects your 3D world, your body. And this is why some people will be in a trance state and their body is jerking, because everything they're feeling on that side, they are feeling on this side. So don't go into plant-based medicine taking all kinds of nonsense, mixing weed and cactus. I'm not even going to give you the list of things people use. It's just ridiculous. It's not healthy if you haven't experienced spirituality organically. Because when you go through this and there's no one there, for instance, you are by yourself at home, who's going to help you when you get into a place that is not good for you? Who would help you? Even those who have advanced in spirituality, it's still best to have another spiritualist around them who is trustworthy rather, and they know that they can help them through this journey and calm them and keep them grounded, protected, and all that stuff. Because you cannot go into a spiritual journey unprotected, ungrounded, no crystals in the right places. If you must, use protective crystals, but I still advise, don't do it by yourself. Do it with someone who knows much about this, who would go through it with you at your own stage. Some people take more kilos of plant-based medicine, more than their body is ready for. Maybe this is what you need. You go and take this, or some would take this much or that much. Do you want to kill yourself? People die when they go into certain types of because on the other side is not only cupids and angels and orishas you're going to see. You will see all kinds of malevolent spirits too. Yes, I've done it before. I've been there, done that. I've experienced it. The time I did mine, I haven't done ayahuasca or wachuma, but I had what is it called? It's a type of weed. I honestly did think this was going to help me get a good night's sleep, because the previous one had CBD oil in it, which helps with sleep if you're struggling with insomnia, which I was at the time. What I wasn't told by my very naughty friend is that there was another type of weed mixture in it. I think it was just a test out. I probably forgot to mention it, and this threw me straight into a trance. And at first I wasn't sure what was going on, but I knew something wasn't right, because obviously I've learned to grow into spirituality slowly. I know my environment, I know when things change. And then I spoke to him on the phone like, yo, what did you put in this thing? Like, oh, there is so weed in it. I'm like, what? By the way, it's a tiny chocolate. I think it was about this size. It was really small, but it's something that you can literally just put in your mouth and eat it at once. And he told me to eat it twice, so I think I bit a little bit more than I was supposed to. And my gosh, my third eye just blew open. It's like the veils were lifted off, and I saw all kinds of madness. But because I've been through, I've been in trance before, I already knew what was going on. I was laughing a lot and also crying at the same time. It was a very emotional period for me. I saw a lot of things, the good, the bad, the ugly. Like I said, I saw people who meant well and those who didn't. A lot of things were revealed. I still remember most of it. It's just that if I hadn't gone through it prior to that time, it would have been worse for me, because even though I am quite experienced at going through trance, I still would have preferred if I was prepared for this, because I didn't know this had whatever in it. So for me, in my own case, it kind of happened accidentally. I've learned my from that day not to have edibles, because I hate getting into I'm not someone who likes to use plants, drugs, or any what's it called, anything like that, just to get myself into opening my third eyes. I do not like it. And from that period, my sense of weed became very, very sharp. Once I smell it, I'm like, no, do not bring that close to me, because I'm not having it. I do not have anything against those who are having it. It's okay. It's just not my thing. I'm just sharing this experience because this was something that happened to me, and even at my level, it still was a lot. It was a lot for my physical body, my spiritual body even. But I kind of found out that my orisha wanted me to go through the process, even though he annoyed me by putting this whatever in it. They wanted me to go through the journey because they had been talking to me and I wasn't listening because I was distracted at that time. I had so much work I was doing, and that took the chunk of my time. So that experience, opened me into understanding things they were saying. Doesn't mean that has to happen for everyone. In my case, it happened because they needed to get my attention, and also in the process I found out so many other things I didn't know. But I still advise that don't do it. The good thing also is that my friend came straight down to the house and stayed with me all through the process, and I had to take a lot of water and oranges and just things to keep me grounded. At first, the kind of things I was seeing were crazy, and then I had to cleanse my space and get a cleansing bath, which then made me grounded. At this time, I could now receive properly. But until then, it was a lot of mess going on at the same time. Like, what the heck is that? Okay. Ooh. You see all kinds of energies, even within your space and in other parts, because you're not fixed to where you are. You are able to move, souls move at the speed of light, just the speed of thought, even faster than light, because sometimes you just think of something that happens. So, when you're in that state, you get to move around quickly, see things very quickly. But make sure you are doing this with someone who is well advanced and trusted, so you are safe, you keep yourself grounded, and make sure everything that has to be done ahead of time is put in place. These are the important parts of spirituality that everyone needs to know. After that experience, I've grown a lot. So in my own case, it was very good for me. I still, like I said, wouldn't advise it. I prefer to go through things organically. But that's all about it, really, about people taking spirituality for jokes. Don't take it, because anything can happen, and it would not be nice for you not to be protected while you're going through these experiences. So I do advise us to have someone who would look after us in this period. It's been good having us on here today. Do like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button, come back. Would love to have you here. Do have a wonderful time. By the way, we love you. We do. I love you. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.